Wazam!
Whistle.
What's goody?
Hey guys, so I am Queso.
I'm Kels.
I'm Gabby.
And I'm Sage.
And this is the Life is Weird podcast, where we are talking about everything weird. We are young black women evolving in the right direction. And that's actually the acronym. You see how I did that? Women evolving in the right direction. So yes, that's the acronym for weird. And this week's a shameless plug. I'm going to be plugging in one of my really good friends. Her name is Mphatso. She's a registered nurse. And she has a natural beverage business called Yoni pHotion. And it helps yonis from the inside out. So that's why it was very on brand. You know, we're talking about sex, we're talking about vaginal health and all that. So her business is dedicated to that, to promoting vaginal health in women. All of her drinks are all natural and help with different things. She has a drink called the Super Soaker. Okay, a cleanser. You know what I'm saying? It's all natural. It includes ingredients like garlic, turmeric, apple cider vinegar, cranberries, all that. So check her out at Yoni pHotion. You can find her on Instagram at YONIPHOTION. That's Yoni pHotion.
It's the PH. Like,
point to it.
Yeah. For me.
Point to the Yoni pHotion. Point to it. Yoni pHotion. So yeah, like I said, this week we're gonna be talking about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about ups and downs. Yeah, we're talking about all things juicy. So if you are underage, okay, go ahead, you can turn on your cocoa melon real quick because this ain't for you. This is grown folks' business. Stay out of grown folks' business, okay? So first things first, let's go ahead and get started, okay? Y'all ready?
Yeah.
So the first question I have for you guys, do you think that you can have sex with no strings attached, for real, for real?
No.
Why? No?
Keep my strings attached.
Let's go one by one because I want to know what y'all got to say.
Explain.
Go ahead, Kels. Pop it off.
For me, I think no. Sex is a spiritual act, in my opinion. I mean, it's a physical act as well, but anytime you come in contact with someone, you're exchanging energy. So if somebody's sticking their wee-wee in you, you collecting their energy, they collecting yours, they could have passed something to you that's negative or positive. Like, there's always some kind of string attached. It may not be like feelings per se, but you have some sort of, I know you don't like this word, but soul tie.
Explain what a soul tie is for the people that might not know. For the people that think they know because they fake woke but don't really know for real, for real.
I'm going to try to explain this in a way that you new children will understand. It's basically an exchanging. Okay, so you got A and B, and A and B kind of doing like this.
What is like this?
You see how they're like, that's right. They're like
Intertwining?
They're intertwining.
Yeah,
I couldn't think of
there we
the
go.
word.
Yeah,
You got two, they just tied. You got two pieces of yarn intertwining, and it's kind of like that's what be happening when you exchange energies with people.
Okay. Yeah.
So for me, no, you cannot have sex without some sort of string being attached.
So even if you're walking away and you're like, oh, I can go without talking to them forever, you still are attached to some way.
Because like you could have picked up something that they were carrying, like
they rubbed off on you type.
type stuff, but they really rubbed also. So
crazy.
You know, you can be around a group of people and just feel somebody's energy. So having sexual intercourse with a person, of course you're picking up some sort of energy from that person, or vice versa, or both. Yeah. So no, it doesn't necessarily have to be like, oh, I'm in love. It just going, where did that come from? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think I definitely agree with Kelsey. Like, keep my strings attached, child, because
I'm weak.
I've tried to be in the streets for real.
And quit it.
And I've tried to be in the streets for real, but all of my attempts have been like,
girl, no sex.
Failed attempts. Literally, like, they've all been blocked in some way. So I really just have come to the conclusion that, like, I'm a lover girl for real. I'm definitely like the relationship type. Like, this is only my second official relationship that I've been in. But yeah, I'm definitely lover girl, I believe like you are exchanging some sort of energy, like even though it may not be like a permanent energy, or they may not like remember you after however many days, weeks, or whatever. Yeah. Sometimes if you lay down with somebody, it could be the next day or a couple days later, and you're like, I just feel like like I just feel like you're in a mood, like damn, she in her mood. No, but that's like no, but really like sometimes you could just be in a mood or like feel a ways, like just because their energy kind of just like rubbed off on you. So yeah, keep my strings attached, please and thank you.
Not keep them attached.
No, I used to think that like you could have sex without having strings attached, because like there were times where I would really just want to see what somebody was talking about. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
But I realized I also understand that like sex can play a part into like why you stay around or like keep someone that you know you let go of longer than you probably should. Because like I was mentally over this person, right? But something about that shit.
So you don't think it's just that it's good, like the D too good?
No, but isn't that some type of?
I feel like being dickmatized or
dickmatization is very real.
Is a form of the tying.
And the better the sex, the harder it is to break that soul tie, you know? So I definitely, like I said, my thoughts have definitely changed. But before I was like, you can have sex and, not really be, connected or not really
hidden and
care. But like you said, there is some type of connection that's always going to be there until you break that soul tie.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so...
Devil's advocate.
No, for real. But, like, the way that y'all are talking, like, I'm kind of convinced now. I feel like I'm on the side of maybe... Like every time you do have sex with someone, there is a tie there, I guess.
Every time in some sort of way, your soul connects.
In some kind of way, I guess so. Yeah.
Because I do the same way. I was like,
right, like I just wanna try it, and then walk away. But then looking back in my history, like I'll try it, and if it's good, So I guess there is some kind of tie. I don't think I've experienced like the next day I'm feeling like shitty.
It's real. That has happened to me. Like you just wake up and I'll be like, bro, I thought today
was sex bad. Was it like a no?
It's just like your energy. Like
it was just like my energy just felt off.
Like you inherited.
Like like I said, when you just feel in a mood. Like
that's interesting.
It was so weird. It was the weirdest thing, and I was like,
that's happening.
Maybe this is like the reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be like the next day or the day after. Like I remember a time where it was like weeks, months later, but it was a habit that I started picking up that it just literally it came out of nowhere, and I'm just like,
interesting.
How do you break soul ties?
Is there?
Pray, child. Pray. Yeah. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I mean, a soul tie is spiritual. You can't physically break it. So.
True.
But that's another
pray, meditate. Okay.
So, I feel like as we get older, this topic is kind of dwindling, but it is still a big question. Do you guys feel like body count matters in today's age? Have you been asked recently what's your body count, or has it been a minute?
If you ask me what my body count is at my big age, you're getting blocked. Like, I'm sorry. It's just like
you're done.
Like, what was the reason? Like, I'm not saying.
What was the reason?
No, dead ass. Not saying that I wouldn't be willing to disclose that information because my number is very low. But I mean, whether it was low, whether it was.
Oh, your baby.
Shut up. What y'all not gonna do is play. It still does what it needs to do. Okay.
It be super soaking.
That don't mean I got experience. Okay. But no, like I just feel like whether it was like low or high, I don't think it should matter like the number. What really matters is like your sexual health and like your status and like what you're doing to remain healthy pretty much. Because if you are racking up all these bodies and you're not getting tested on a regular, regular is considered once every 3 months, whether you are sexually active or not. So all my people who are in relationships, married, all that stuff. Yeah, that's for public health here, you know what I'm saying? No, like, be fucking for real. Like, you should really be getting tested on a regular, no matter what who you're with and like what your status is, or your current status. You could be in a dry spell and have picked up something from bro like months ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's really one of those things where it's like your number doesn't matter to me, but if your number is higher, you should definitely be like
Getting tested.
you know, getting tested frequently, even if your number is lower, because you can have sex 1-2 times and then something like God forbid happen. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things like just be mindful of what you're doing and have those intentional conversations. That's what really matters to me.
Sure.
Yeah.
I feel like you said, you're childish if you're asking me that at this point in my life, in this point in our lives. Like, no. Well, now if it's like 300. at that point, it's like, are you bored?
No, but I met a guy who openly said his body count was well over 100.
But it's like, my thing is, sex is great, right?
I'm gonna tell y'all, I can't remember what it is.
Oh, no.
Somebody we know? Shut your mouth. Ooh, spicy.
I just have a guess in my head, and I wonder if I'm correct.
Oh my god.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, I think I know too, but keep going.
No. Just keep talking.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. But it's just like, not even because, it's a lot of people, but it's just like, sex is great. But how do you find the time? Because do you work? You know what I mean?
No facts.
And then two, like, you gotta have a new person each time. Like, it doesn't matter. But if it's high, I think you need to mentally reevaluate some things.
It's giving
Because
addiction.
it's for real. And
It's a thing.
Addiction is addiction.
Yeah.
Addiction.
Shut up, girl. Bye.
Corny jokes. So you can just
Sorry,
pick
I'm telling
you.
Listen,
We don't pay her no mind. So please don't.
I am hilarious, actually. But no, I
anyways,
think it
child.
doesn't matter. We're way too old, and just leave it be.
No, yeah. Like I said, I haven't been asked that in a minute.
Yeah.
I just think it's something that's kind of like played out. But to play devil's advocate, like, what if someone's like, okay, I don't care about a number, but I don't want to be with someone who's been with everybody.
I get
You
that.
know? Which I can understand.
So, like, when you say been with everybody, some people, I guess, like, refer to that as, like, everybody could be considered
People they know.
everybody
They know in
that
your
you know.
circle.
Yeah, in your
Yeah.
circle. So, would that be what
Yeah.
you're talking about being with everybody?
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
So
then
it's,
it's like...
it's who, not
Like,
me.
you
so
tell
it's
your
more so-
girlfriend, you're like, girl, I hit that too. And I heard Lisa did, and Chanel, and Mary,
Yeah.
and Jennifer.
So then maybe if they all hitting it, then it's good. So we do need to go see what it's about. Don't listen to me, y'all. I'm
Terrible
just...
advice.
I mean,
I'm on
you're
bullshit.
just trying to hit it and quit it.
You know
I
what I'm
mean-
saying? But so
I
I
don't
guess
know.
it's more so who then. It's
Yeah,
not
more so
really like
who.
it's still not about number then.
Yeah.
Okay.
It does take away from like the mystery of it all, though.
This is
Like I
true.
kind of feel like
It's like, damn.
y'all don't know. She know what I'm getting.
Yeah,
It's
I'm so
like, she
dead.
already
Not to put my business out there, but I remember I had a friend who was dealing with a male in college, and she literally came to me and told me and was like, "Girl, you should do that with him."
What?
Like,
Whoa.
and I think that he wants you, so you should do it because it's good.
So did you do it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Y'all don't know my business. but but body count don't matter. Body count don't matter.
At
Like,
our big age, that shouldn't be. That might be the age.
yeah.
But so back to your think about recall your first time
Oh God.
having the sexual intercourse. Okay, do you guys regret it?
yes.
Damn.
So,
Sorry.
do tell.
If you watching this, bit out.
Big dog.
I do not apologize, but it is what it is. Yeah, didn't last long.
Wow.
Hurt the entire time. Like, and he was older than me. So even though I was a virgin, it's like
was
I
better than
expected him to know what he was doing. You know?
How old? He was older than you, but how old?
Like how many
He was like
years?
21. I was 18. 21, 22. He was older.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he old enough to drink.
Oh,
He should
He's
know how
young,
to-
but he was old enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was just like, you know how when you having sex with somebody for the first time, you kind of ease it in. And he was just.
Damn.
I'm
At
like,
21?
bro, I'm like,
No, that's
I'm like
too old.
scooting up because I'm like, bro,
Too
like
old.
I'm in pain. Like I'm not having fun at all. And then it lasted for like 4 minutes. And I was just kind of like, I literally like went to my roommate, the next day and was like, is that
How it's supposed to be?
You know, because I was like, if that's the case, I don't know what y'all be talking about. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I don't want no 1 minute, man.
Okay, I guess I'll go. I don't regret it. I just regret that I was so young because I was young. But like it was my high school boyfriend. I thought high school sweethearts like you gotta end up with them like present day. No,
Not necessarily, no.
I was about to say.
Chase his head.
Shay said,
I was about to say, like, no. Well, whatever. We were together from like my freshman year of high school to like my sophomore year in college. So like,
damn.
yeah, so, literally like my whole like childhood. But
Did you say freshman in high school?
Yeah.
9th grade.
Y'all harping on the age part of it too much. That's telling. But I just regret that I was so young because I felt like, one, we weren't together at the time, and so like that was my first. Like we were together at one point, and then we broke up. So it was in that period where we had like broke up, and then it was my like first Netflix and chill encounter before Netflix and chill was like a thing for real. So I really was like, I was young and like wasn't expecting to go over there for that purpose because I really thought he was trying to watch a movie, and clearly, you know. But yeah, I kind of just wish I would have waited a little bit longer. I don't regret it because I actually had like, you know, genuine feelings and stuff for that person, and like. He didn't, like, treat me like I was, you know, a little jump off or something. But, yeah that was... So, no, I don't regret it, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't count my first time, so there's that. It was not sex. I don't know what it was.
Penetration.
It wasn't it. But I do regret like my first. I feel like I didn't really start having sex for real till college because like I said, I didn't count my first time, and then the first guy that I had sex with in college, I told him that he was my first. Why? I don't know. I was just young and dumb. But I was like, yeah, because I really wasn't counting. I was like, that does not count.
He doesn't
exist. But even the guy like in college, he's like, oh, you know, I took her. I was like, not really.
Why are you bragging about
Be like,
it,
not too much.
Didn't brag publicly, but
okay, because
I can't speak.
I was about to say he's lame if he did.
No, didn't brag publicly, but it was just something that I felt like he probably like.
It was like
cared, you know, yeah, you know. And I was just like, well, I'm gonna be honest, but my first 2 times weren't all that great. And like you said, I was like, this is what sex, y'all keep me.
Yeah, I'm good.
Because this ain't what I thought it would be. This ain't it.
My first time, definitely don't regret. It was real nice. It was
I never hear people say that.
Yeah, it was
traumatic. It's all traumatic.
Trauma.
But no, he was my prom date for my senior prom, and it was the summer after we graduated before going to college. And I remember it was so weird. I had this mission that I wanted to lose my virginity before I started college.
I feel like a lot of people were like that. Yeah, it was like that.
Like, yeah, I wanted to do it at least one time, and he had done it before, and he was like, "Yeah, we could do it," and so we did it, and it was good. It was good. I mean, I think it hurt a little bit, but from what I remember, it was good.
Yours sounds like a movie. Like, literally, like, when you see in the movies, people, like, losing their virginity and stuff, like, a fairy tale. That's what I thought mine was going to be like.
Yeah.
And it was just like, don't move! It was like,
Because we hear so many horror stories, and, like, my biggest thing, I was afraid of, like, the pain. Because that's all I hear. So I'm like,
Yeah.
Which I think that's why, like, men, this is going to be another question that we go into, but I feel like men lose their virginity a lot younger than females typically.
Because it feels good.
You know what I'm saying?
Is it because it feels good, or were they coerced?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit of both.
Because a lot of these guys, when they tell you about their first time, like, the girl's so much older than them.
Yeah.
Statutory.
Weird.
So it's like, but it's like, it's really sucks, like the double standard with that. Like, if it's a young guy and like an older girl, that's considered okay. But if the roles were reversed and it was like a young girl and an older guy, that's predatory. And it's like, that's one of those things when it's like, we'll unpack that at another point. But it's really just like, that's really crazy. Like,
some of y'all men need to recall y'all first times and think about, okay, how did this really happen?
Right.
Because it's a problem.
Yeah.
And they probably, probably brag to their friends, like, ooh, I did it. Finally.
Yeah, but they be looking for brag.
For like status, like doing it for like status.
Like, if you want to,
but if you really dig into that shit, like,
if you really
you were violated.
Yeah.
like, if you can cougar out when he's in his 20s, maybe, but.
Like, you're, 13 and she's like 16, 17?
If she's 17, that's illegal in Georgia.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought it was younger than that.
No.
Nothing.
I thought it was like, never mind.
No, like the fact that she's 17, that's
Oh,
statutory.
okay, you're right.
Yeah, that's right.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Crazy. But to switch gears a little bit, how do you guys feel about sex on the first date / having one night stands?
Do what you do.
Okay.
It's none of my business.
Okay.
None of my business.
Listen.
Like, as long as you're wrapping it up, being safe, protecting yourself.
Yeah. I feel like whether you give it up on the first date or you give it up on the 7th date, whether he want to be with you for real or not, he'll, like, it doesn't really matter. Like, the whole concept of, like, oh, I'm going to make him wait 3 months or this time, whatever, like, like, that's really more of, like, a female thing, like, in our head for us to feel better about ourselves. Like,
I don't want to give it up
too early, but realistically, like, if a guy actually wants to, like, pursue you for real, whether you give it up on the first date or you give it up on the 9th, 10th, whatever date, like, he already have an idea what type of girl you are. You know what I'm saying?
So you don't think it'll change their look on a woman if they have sex?
Not really, because I've had this conversation with some of my male friends, and they've told me, like, yeah, like, I can tell the girls who were like, I'm just trying to, like, get on that just to do it, and girls who were like, quote unquote, wifey material, or girls that I would cuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they already know going into doing it, or like going into the date or conversations that they've had with you prior to y'all going on an actual date, because
they already are
know.
sick too. Like, on the other hand, like, they will play the long game, and they'll get it finally, and they'll still leave your ass. They'll still leave your ass.
For sure.
And you, like, the women, they might think they have, they have it in the bag because they making them wait, or they waiting, or they feel like they getting respected because they not, pushing for it so soon. But
little do you know, he's
niggas
playing you.
Listen, I'm on to y'all,
bro.
Okay.
And also, some of these men, I'm gonna say it, some of these men out here who got body counts 300, talking about, oh, she have sex on the first date, she a hoe.
What are you?
Please.
First, I'm an adult.
Please.
That's horny. I'm not a whore. Like, just stop. Expect society, bro. Like, it's not 1957. Women are not nuns unless they are purposefully nuns.
Double standard.
Like, it's but
do you think that it's okay? So let me give you a scenario, right? So say you've met this person, right? Y'all are cool, y'all know of each other, but y'all never went out, right? Y'all finally go on a date and y'all have sex that night. Would y'all still consider that a one night stand or sex on the first date, or is it different because you already knew them, but you like didn't know them in person, but you knew of them, like you see them in passing, y'all have mutual friends. Do you think it's the same?
A one night stand and sex on the first date, because you can have a one night stand and you saw shawty at the club, even if I knew, like, we were at a party, like, as a group, and I was like, you trying to dip? That's a one night stand. If y'all went on a date and went home, y'all purposely went on a date, on an actual date, and then y'all went home and smashed, that's sex on the first date.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's why it's
like the actual definition.
of
what one night stand
like
is.
If you, but it's like, I think technically, if you're gonna go, like you said, by the definition of it, it's still either a one night stand or sex on the first date, because you had sex.
It's sex on the first date, but it's not a one night stand. So a one night stand would be like if y'all were to go y'all separate ways after the sexual encounter.
So.
Yeah.
Can I look it up?
You said, can I look it up?
Y'all keep talking. I just want to say.
But I feel like, does it feel the same? Probably not, because you know that person and you're more comfortable around that person, but technically it's the same thing.
And I feel like one night stands the intent on both sides is clear, like I'm here for this purpose and you are also here for this purpose.
Yeah.
When you go on a first date, your intent going into the date may not be to, you know, what's it, why I don't bring it back. It may not be, but it just so happens. And even if you go on the date, like with that, it could be one-sided. Like, okay, he could go into the date or she could go into the date saying, all right, this is my intention after the date, but at the end of the day, the main purpose was for y'all to go on a date. It wasn't, your sole purpose was not, let's go on a date so that we can end up having sex. If y'all wanted to do that, then y'all would just say, hey, let's go have sex. You know what I'm saying? So
you
I
should.
think, you should.
Because some people do that on some bullshit.
You should. But I definitely think, the two are different.
Yeah. Definitely.
Good points. What
you find?
Oxford says
The
the informal definition is a sexual relationship lasting only one night.
For one night stand. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like after that, there's like no relations. There's no.
Yeah.
So with that definition, I could like a homeboy and I could have sex and we never have sex again because that's technically a one night stand.
Yeah, true.
Or sneaky link or whatever you want to
you
call
shouldn't
it.
be having sex with your homeboy.
No, but I'm saying like
Absolutely I really had to just mess with you on that.
But girl, but no, like just
life, okay.
but just in a general sense, if that were to happen.
Yeah.
Good points. Okay, so next question. What is your guys' worst sexual or like most disappointing sexual experience? I think we've all had. Okay, first of all, have we all been with a minute man?
Yes.
C. Wait.
We.
Sort of, kind of.
I don't know.
We didn't get to the minute.
Y'all didn't get to a minute. Y'all got to the half.
We didn't get it popping.
So it's probably like my
Yeah.
like yours was probably like my first time where I was like it didn't matter. But yeah. So I feel like it's very common to have that, like to be with, and no shame because I understand there's actual dysfunctions around that. I'm not shaming.
You had a long
Don't
day.
know
I'm
it,
just
child.
in there, but who's go first?
I'll go ahead and get mine out the way. Did some things with this one person. And really didn't do no things. It was like I feel like maybe it was because like I got on top of him first, and I probably should have let him warm up. But it was like 1, 2, 3.
You was hot and ready.
We were drunk.
Oh,
so
okay,
it's just
that
like
makes sense.
I was like 1, 2, 3, and he was like, "Oh, get up."
Yeah, it'd be like that.
I was like, "What happened?" And he was like, "Yeah."
Damn, that was it.
And I just looked down.
He probably had no shame because he was drunk.
No, that nigga was like, "I'm sorry." And like to this day, like I don't see him often, but I think the last time I saw him, I can't say the name of the place because it's gonna give it away. But I saw him somewhere at a group event. And he was just kind of like...
Wasn't that event that a friend of ours performed at?
Girl, did
No,
she
no,
just...
no.
Okay. Bro, like...
Off camera.
Baby, wait for it.
10 p.m.?
No.
Don't ass up.
Off camera.
Okay, first of all.
But this was, like me seeing him, this was years ago as well. So I haven't seen him since then. I don't
You
even
think he's
know.
still embarrassed?
Are you embarrassed?
Lasting embarrassment when it comes to things.
I know they be trying to like prove themselves afterwards because he did try to hit me up like after the fact, and I was just kind of like, because if you do it, bro, if you do it again, like, I just can't. That just means that's just what you do, and no, you just need a sex toy at this point. Wow, because I just can't.
Big abs.
Not the little.
Oh, you know what? I really, I don't appreciate being put on the spot.
We already know what story she's gonna tell us.
I was about to say, like,
Go ahead.
really, to be honest, this question is really for me because they want me to tell the story.
Absolutely.
Yes. You're correct.
Ooh, child. Wow.
Set the scene.
The story has a title.
Okay, what is the? Go ahead, Kelsey. I know you want to tell the title.
Story is called Noodle. Insert picture of Noodle.
Close your eyes and visualize, shall we?
The year is.
It's sophomore year in my college dorm room.
Oh my gosh.
No, okay, but that ass. I gotta tell the story my way. I can't do that freaking whatever. So, all right, boom. So it's around Christmas break or whatever. Me and my high school boyfriend, we had like just broken up not too long before. So, like I said, I was ready to be outside. I was not trying to be lover girl Gab anymore. So I'm the type of person, when I know what I want, I know what I want. So I knew that I wanted noodle. The noodle, which I didn't know was the noodle. And so, you know, I called up bro and was like, hey, yo, like, my roommate's not here. Like, what's up? It's very rare that a guy will turn you down if they're trying to be, like, on the same type of time. Mm-hmm. Like, I've had one guy tell me, like, oh, I'm trying to wait and stuff. So, you know, I respect it. Y'all remember that. Y'all remember that. Mm-hmm. But, you know, yes.
Yeah.
I was, so, you know, I was Little Caesars. I was hot and ready. So, all right. So, if you've ever been in a college dorm, you know the beds are, like, hella small. Like, they're twin XLs. And bro was damn near larger than the twin XL. Like,
it's a big man.
That nigga was larger than the size bed.
That's crazy.
And so, mind you, like, for y'all who don't know me, I'm 4'11". I am very small. Shut up.
You call it big ass. It ain't nothing big.
Yeah, I mean, no. Anyway,
not too much.
So, sorry. I'm very small. He is not. So, you know, we kiss and we whatever. And it's time. It's time for it to go down. It's about to go down.
So
I thought, literally. So I was like, all right, you know. And he pulls little bro out.
Not little bro.
Oh,
hey, yo.
He brings bro out to make his debut. And bro was looking at me, and I'm looking at bro like,
I'm looking at him.
and he looks at me, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this slinky? Oh, and
gosh.
So
Oh, goodness.
he looking at me, I'm looking at him, he's looking at me like, what you? And I'm like, I am not. They are not.
My mouth on that.
On that, they are not. So,
big buddy.
Would it have helped? Do you think it would have helped? Honestly.
probably not. I'll tell more details off camera on that one.
Okay.
But
God.
but I think he knew that like something was wrong because like he had even said like before he like brought bro out, he was like, give me a second.
Give you a little warning.
Give me a second. Like he was still like preheating.
Yeah.
Was he an athlete? Sidebar. Like, was he actually an athlete?
Or was he just
I'm
beat?
giving away too
I was
much
about to
side.
say, you asking you.
For the podcast. Off camera.
The pressure is getting.
The pressure is getting worse. I am sweating.
It's the lights.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, bro is still preheating, and he's been preheating for longer than ovens are supposed to preheat.
Jeez.
And so I'm like, maybe we can help make it warm. Warm up. Bro is still. It's like the oven is off. I said, bro. So at this point, I could tell he's getting kind of like embarrassed. Are you embarrassed? Because like I could just tell by his demeanor and everything. So I'm not trying to make him feel like no ways or whatever. Because this is awkward for both of us. Because I'm like, oh, like maybe like is it me? Like, but I figured out later on that it wasn't me, and I'll get to that. So I got my Jergens lotion on the nightstand table.
Shout out Jergens.
And
Sponsors.
he looks at the Jergens and it's like, I could use this real quick.
Go ahead, baby.
Before I could even answer, my Jergens was taking off.
No more.
And he grabs the Jergens and he goes into my bathroom. And I'm sitting there, like, looking at myself. I'm looking down at me. I said, I'm just like half naked on the bed.
Like, you for real, like unclothed.
Like spread eagle.
bro.
Like,
I needed the image.
Like, I told you, Little Caesar's hot and ready. The box is open.
Oh,
bro.
No.
Like,
you just wait for the pizza.
Waiting for the pizza.
Damn.
Like, you didn't give me. Where's the pizza?
I ordered sausage.
Oh.
Got cheese.
And so I said, oh, hell nah. So I closed the pizza box. I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and box this pizza up.
It's getting cold.
It's getting cold.
Just close the box.
And so then I was fed up, y'all. So I grabbed my car keys. Because, mind you, this is in my room. So I grabbed my car keys. And he was like, he comes out of the bathroom. He see me. I see him. He's like, where are you about to go? You about to leave? I said, yeah. You about to leave, too. And, you know, in the moment, like,
that exact phrase.
From my recollection, yes.
That's
From what I recall, yes. Whether it was whether it came out my mouth or it was in my soul, it was said.
I am so dead.
Dead ass. I was so pissed. Mind you, I grabbed my keys like I had somewhere to be and I had nowhere to go. I still walked out like I walked to the parking deck and everything. Like I had somewhere to go, and then I turned back around once I saw that he was walking to his.
What if you saw him, ran into him, coming back inside, going to your room?
That would have been
then
so funny.
I would just pretend like I didn't.
Okay, so what if it was
It's
like
too big for you to be able to do that.
I can't see.
what if he was like, okay, can we at least like cuddle? Would you want to?
What?
Hell no.
I didn't call you over here to cuddle, nigga. You know that video of you? You know that? No, y'all know that TikTok of New York. She's like, I want my eggs cracked. I want. She's like, I want my last name changed. Like she was very direct. Like,
Oh my
like I said, I
gosh.
knew what I wanted, and that was what I wanted. I did not call you over here to
You
cuddle.
just got our relationship. You trying to?
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to be outside.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I'm
I'm not
trying to
trying to
be
be on no
outside
cuddle
for real. You cuddle?
That was God saying.
And then plus,
Yeah.
how we gonna cuddle on this twin XL, bro?
Hey,
You
make
bigger
it
than
work.
the Twin XL.
Like,
He was a full size.
You be on.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, bro, and it was actually like, I kind of felt bad, but didn't, because then he ended up like hitting me up like some weeks after, like, can we try again?
Always trying to redeem themselves.
I don't even know if I responded. Not gonna fake it to you. I don't remember if I responded or not, but if I did respond, it was probably somewhere along the lines of like, I'm good on it, which. Come to find out, like I said, I realized it wasn't me because I was talking to one of my homegirls and she was like, "Oh yeah, you didn't know that."
Oh, that is
Not
awful.
reputation.
And I was like, "I
poor
know
noodle.
you're lying. Like,
Dang.
bro, been a noodle his whole life."
Wait, did that homegirl also?
No, it was the homegirl's friend.
Oh, so she heard
So it was the
grapevine
homegirl of
The
the
homegirl's
homegirl.
friend, yes.
Dang.
And she was like, "Oh, you didn't know?" And I was like, "Girl, no, I did not know." And then I was like, "And if I knew that you knew, I would have hit you up prior to because." I just kind of like wasted my time.
Yeah. Could
So-
so, a whole nother man.
That's what I'm
Could've
saying.
got
But
your
I'm
back.
like, if it's interesting now that you say that because I'm like, if it didn't work with you and it didn't work with homegirl, then what's wrong with Big Dog?
It's dysfunction. It's a real thing.
It's a thing.
But I thought
Yeah.
that was like a
It's
in
not-
the moment kind of thing. Like that's just a
No, like
disorder.
yeah, people have that, which is why Viagra exists.
Erectile dysfunction disorder.
Yes, it's like you get diagnosed. Like you
I
can
thought
get
that was
diagnosed.
for old people.
No.
And that's the thing, like stigmas like that, like unfortunately, like I realized, like, you know, I knew the situation for what it was, but it's like that is like a common stigma that it's like it's only happens to old people or whatever. It's like
Yeah, I
it can
never
happen.
would've thought.
It can happen if for some guys, if you drink too much,
Yeah.
and then you try to wake bro up and bro say, "Hey man, I'm asleep."
But that
I'm
makes
asleep.
sense
Out the
because
game.
you're
Out the
drunk.
game.
Like it just not working is just
It can be a thing.
It's a thing.
It really is. I don't know the details surrounding it, like all of the health details, but yeah, definitely like Look it up.
Speaking of erectile, I might as well just get into my little story real quick.
Not everybody got niggas out here with ED.
I don't want to shame y'all, so let me not even.
We're
Anyway,
not shaming. We're
so,
just curious.
Yeah. What happened was, I had a boyfriend, my freshman year of college. I knew him in high school. He's not gonna listen to this. I knew him in high school. And we finally. I'm talking about you, bro. Yeah. So we finally got together in college, freshman year, and I remember we had done it. Now that I think about it, had we ever like successfully done it?
Damn.
No, for real. I think we did, but I was so in love with him. I just did not care. He was so fine to me.
He was like Krishan Rock.
Like this was the guy.
Or like Carisha.
Nah, Carisha getting that bag.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't no bag attached to this man.
Delusional.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't delusional. Well, no, because this is a whole other story, y'all. Senior year, when I wanted him, like desperate, like despair, like disgusting. But we're not gonna get into that. It's embarrassing. But I finally dealt with him freshman year, and yeah. So I can remember like a couple of experiences of us trying to do it. I remember one time we definitely were very drunk, and it just wasn't happening for us. And I was real disappointed because I was ready. I was very, very, very much ready for it. Like the hottest of readies, okay? But it didn't work out. And then I remember it was another time that it didn't work. Like it was like
I don't even get to
like noodle shrimp.
Like when you say it doesn't work, like it's just like y'all try and it doesn't work.
Like it's
y'all
building
can't
up
even
to
try.
it. Like it's building up to it, and I think you know how guys, sometimes I don't know if y'all experience, but it won't be completely ready, but they'll be like, okay, let's just try it anyways and see like if it builds up.
There. Yeah.
It wasn't building up nothing. And so I was like, oh wow.
Getting slinky.
And oh yeah, for sure. Noodle shrimp, all the softest of things. And I don't care because he played me later on the next semester when he finally went to school away and realized that he didn't want to be in no long kind of distance relationship. And he played me. He went to Valdosta.
But who are you playing?
He went to Valdosta and ghosted me when he went. He ghosted me that first whole week. I was scared. Like I thought that something had happened to him. He literally ghosted my ass. And it was definitely God, but I was hurt because he was still like kind of stringing me along. He was real rude sometimes. About it, and I wanted him so bad. And I remember like I went on this rant in the dining hall, and my friend had got on camera me saying, "How the fuck you 19 and you got ED? You got ED, nigga," and like had it on Snapchat and everything. I was pissed.
Wow.
You should have strung
I
him
was
along.
pissed.
See, there go that soul tie.
That was a big one. That was a big one.
That energy.
How was it tied though?
That's the thing. Like I was like tied before we even did anything.
Entanglement was happening.
He was just like, I just had never dealt with anything that looked like that before. He was so fine.
We need to see a picture of this man.
It
on
really
camera.
be fine, nigga. Bro, I swear, like,
But he was like a skinny nigga. Like if you looked at him, you would think, oh, he got that. He got that thing on him.
Skinny niggas.
That's what I'm saying.
But them, it be them big buff niggas that be having like 3 inches, and I'm just like,
Or don't be picking you up. I'm like, yo,
you're too big. I know I'm a tall motherfucker, but pick me up. Hell,
Queso just told on herself.
you can bench press me.
Yo. Queso said they don't be picking you up.
No, they don't.
Clearly, sis likes to be picked.
Period.
Hell, no,
You ain't have
because
to say that.
just because we some tall motherfuckers don't mean
Okay.
that cause Megan's nigga pick her up. And she 5'10" and she got a big ass. So get in the gym.
Get your weight up.
Do you lift, bro? Because if you don't, you need to.
That's one way to really make a nigga mad. Tell him to get his weight up or call him sassy. The niggas hate it. But no. So my worst. I've had some experiences where like you just expect more. Sorry. Where you just expect, men be like talking big talk and be acting like they have big game, and then you just go in there and you're like highly disappointed. I've had an experience like that. But there was one instance where there was this guy, and I was talking to him, and some men, they think that they gotta do the most when they don't really gotta do the most. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to like oral sex, giving head and whatnot, and he was just all over the place. Like, he was just here and over there, and I was just like, baby, all you gotta do is keep it here. All you gotta do is keep it right here, this little bullseye, right? So I tried to like guide him without saying too much, because at that point, like, I didn't have the balls to be
to
like,
actually speak,
right? And then plus I was
To the left.
One hop this time. Reverse.
Like crisscross.
How many songs have been in this episode so far, bro?
But I wasn't there yet. So I was trying to guide him, and I guess he thought that I was like enjoying it. I took my hands, was like, "Don't run from me." I was like, "I promise you, I'm not running from no one.
I don't feel anything.
I'm running."
Oh.
But yeah, and it was one of those guys where you really would have expected him to like.
I
know
know
what he was
exactly
doing.
what you're talking about.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't think
No, you don't know
No.
who I'm talking about.
You told me about this story.
Did I?
You did.
Off camera.
But, yeah, it was just very disappointing.
Those are the
So
type
that
of
was-
niggas that you can tell they get all their sexual experience from porn. Because that shit's not real.
Yeah.
That shit is not real.
I was like, you think you're doing all that?
Ain't
and then
doing
some, but
nothing.
you're not doing
Nothing,
nothing, baby.
Little do you know, they have a script.
Yeah.
She's not enjoying it.
might not
She's
be.
getting her back.
Probably not even real.
It's not. It's not.
So we've all talked about negative sexual experiences, right? So I'm gonna give y'all a scenario. Say this guy, and he is everything you wanted. He's like Mr. Perfect, right? Checks all the boxes off. He's just perfect, right? But there's this one box that he just can't check. And he's not like satisfying you sexually, right? He's perfect in every other way. Like he's a gentleman, he spoils you, but like you're not sexually satisfied. Would that be an issue? Does it not matter? Is that a conversation that you're having? How are you bringing it up without hurting his ego? Do you think you can bring it up without hurting a man's ego?
No. But I will say, because sex isn't, it's not everything, but we are physical beings, so it matters.
Yeah,
and like, I know for certain people, sex isn't like, people are like asexual, like, but just for the average person, it matters. But if I really care for you and I love you, like, we can talk about it. We'll definitely try to, cause like, I'm not gonna do everything perfect, cause I'm used to my past, like, whatever. But if we talk about it and we're working on it and it's just not improving, I think at that point probably won't work out, because I'm gonna end up wanting to get it from somewhere else. Or if it was flipped, he might want to get it from somewhere else. And it's like, that's how, no.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. I think like conversations need to be had if if you're not satisfied in some way, then in any area of a relationship or situation, whatever, you need to be vocal about it, because how can you expect change if you don't express like your concerns and stuff like that? So I would definitely say if you have someone who does check all those boxes, then you probably do really care about them. So somebody that you care about, you should express to them like how you actually feel. And I don't think you can ever do that without hurting a man's ego, because like, when it comes to sex, like men are praised and they find like, reward in sexual pleasure. But like women, like if we're like, oh yeah, like I could do this, all that, whatever, they're like, okay, like, and like they find a lot of like pride in what they can do for somebody sexually. And it's like praised and stuff like that. So to say to them, okay, well maybe this is not working for me, it's definitely gonna bruise their ego for sure. And it's just a matter of like how much, like how mature you can be as a man to like hear that constructive criticism, and as a unit y'all work on it, because it can bruise your ego for a little while and everything, like, but don't sit in that. Like, focus on the bigger picture that your girl is trying to communicate something to you, like, because she's trying to help you help y'all. Pretty much.
I definitely, like, the ego is bound to be bruised more than likely, but like, you gotta just communicate. Like, you can't be afraid to communicate if this is the one thing that's just not, like, that's not meeting your expectation. Like, you have to communicate that. And then like, you got to realize, you know, being the person on the receiving end of that criticism, like, you got to realize that, you know, everyone's not the same. Like, you can't necessarily do what you did with your past partner with your current partner. Like, it's not going to work the same.
Yeah.
More than likely.
Exactly.
Yeah, because
Like,
not everybody likes the same thing.
not everybody likes the same
You might be
things.
doing something that please your ex, baby, that don't please me.
Yeah. You
know what
probably
she
was
was
you probably
into.
was a sex god to them. And
You gotta
to
put a
the
lot
next one, like, you got to do something
Yeah.
else. Switch it up. Like, I've definitely experienced just that. Like, it's not going to work with me, bro. I know that it did what it needed to do with her or whoever. But, like, no, we got to communicate and figure out what it is we actually like and not just do what you want to do, because then, like, it's going to be a disconnect. And then, like Kelsey said, like, I'm want to feel like I'm going to want to find it from someone else who I know can do that.
Yeah.
So I agree with the point that you made when you said, like, sex isn't everything, but it is a big
Yeah.
it is a big part, because if not, it'll bring issues down the line, you know, especially if you don't talk about it. But hopefully I don't ever gotta have that conversation, because to this day I don't know how I would bring that up.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would bring that up, but yeah.
I feel like it usually comes out like in already tense
Like
situations,
arguments.
like
Yeah.
arguments, which is the
And
worst
that's
kind
why
of way.
you wasn't.
No facts.
That's the worst. That would not.
Yeah, all the
Kidding,
time you
y'all.
thought I was faking.
Yeah,
Have
that
I
would.
ever faked?
Yes.
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 Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
never faked an orgasm.
Not an orgasm, but
I
I've
faked, like,
definitely faked-
enjoyment.
Yeah. I can't.
There was a point where I just didn't want to hurt, like, this guy's feelings.
You
'Cause
really be trying to
actually-
save face.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah.
It's
I
sad.
done spent a couple niggas. I spent a couple niggas.
Nah,
In
I
more
was
recent times, so I just be
faking.
laying there, like, I be just dazed out or falling asleep.
Bro,
Like, for real.
Don't you be starfish?
Like,
certain positions I might be watching TV. I ain't gonna.
no, for real.
I'm not even gonna cap. There was the person I'm talking about. Like, literally, I was like fake moaning watching like Marvel
That's so terrible.
because it was just like it
That's
just
some real
wasn't
shit, though.
it. You know.
Yeah.
But he was so nice.
We gotta stop letting these people think that they hitting the
I'm
spots.
Really?
Not a
I had. There was one guy, and I'm not gonna lie, I was like, but I feel like if you stroke a man's ego just a little bit, like, he'll perform better, you know? Like, I feel like you just kind of, you know, boost their confidence, you know? They'd be like, oh, yeah, but then, like,
It depends.
it kind of bit me in the ass, and then he's like, oh, yeah, I did that. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
You didn't.
Yeah.
Did you? Did you really?
thank you.
When you just sit there, okay.
Right, but, so how do you guys feel about having toys in the bedroom?
Yes.
Agree.
Immediately, yes.
Highly recommend.
Yeah, I don't see
I'm
nothing
open.
wrong with that.
Yeah. Do
Oh,
you
so
find
nothing wrong with
guys
that.
like being quick to ask if you have toys, or are you the one that has to kind of like initiate the conversation, like, I have something I want to try?
Yeah, I never have been like I've never had a guy who was like, "Hey, you got some toy, you gotta,
Really?
No, but like I've introduced it.
Asking.
I've introduced it,
Have a
and they were
limited
like,
catalog to choose from.
But I will say, like, in the experience that I've had with introducing it, they were like, "Oh yeah, I was down. I just didn't know what you were feeling." So I was just like, they don't. He told me like he didn't want to come off as like being, I guess, too forward. And I was like, yeah, because at the time,
It's so nasty.
he said like the way, and this was around I don't know. He said the way that he viewed me at the time, he didn't feel like I would be into that type of stuff. And I was like, no, yeah, you just have to ask. But nah, I've never had to a point where a guy was like, no. But a lot of times I'm probably the initiator, and then I don't have it every time I have sex too.
Oh, yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
like,
facts.
Yeah.
I don't like. I literally only have a vibrator, so I don't really have like a wide variety of toys to use. And the only time
expand your catalog.
I'm down for it. And the only time like I use it with like while, you know, doing it with somebody is like if I am administering a pleasurable experience to the male. And I'm like, okay, let me do something for me too, because I'm giving all this.
Oh, so you don't
goodness.
get pleasure from pleasing.
No, I do, but sometimes it's so much pleasure. I'm just like, let's go ahead and add something to the equation. A little buzz.
Salt Bae.
Not a little buzz.
Barbershop.
we're here, let me just razzle dazzle.
It's supposed to be a barbershop.
Yes.
I have a very limited catalog of male members to choose from. So, listen, what we're not gonna do is the but I'm open to it. Like I just never, my experience is like one, we was young. Like my first was we were young. Second, there's no need to touch on that one. Absolutely not. And then, my current boyfriend, like, I mean, we would be open to it, but it's just never something that, like, we never.
Like a big
deal. It's not like a huge deal. It's like whether we do it or we don't, like, that's cool with me, but, like, I don't mind. I always feel like, after some point when you're in, like, a relationship or just with somebody, especially with somebody, like, long term, you're going to want to spice things up at some point, like, while you're with them, because, like, I mean, why not? Like, think about, like, married people. Like, sometimes, that's gross to say. I think about my parents. But, like, okay, the length that they've been together, like, they've been together
get bored.
25 years. Yeah. So it's like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know what they've done. But I'm pretty sure, like, when you start talking to, like, those old head couples who've had some years under their belt, they probably have, like, have added some experience.
Perfect segue. Speaking of spicing things up, how do you guys feel about having threesomes? Are you open to it?
Single me, yes. Relationship me, no.
I second that.
Because when I become emotionally attached to you, no. Because touch him if you want to.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Look at him if you want.
Heck yeah.
I promise you.
I couldn't even fake it. Get the fuck off.
What if it was like early stages? Like
Early
stages.
stages.
A little over almost 2 years.
Almost
Almost
3
3 years.
Almost
We're almost
Shit, where have I been?
a toddler.
Time flies. But yeah, say it was like y'all first like 3 months and he like
Let's do it.
Yeah.
But like
But
at
after a
this
certain
point,
period, yeah, you're like,
absolutely not.
So it's either early on or later on where you can have that. Like
What you mean later on?
Like when Gabby was like, say you're married for like 25 years and you're bored and you want to spice things up.
I let
Or
you know in
not.
25 years.
Valid.
I can't.
You
I
already
don't
know.
know. I
Valid.
really don't know. I don't want to be like, yeah, and then he'd be like, remember that time?
25 years.
So
He
we'll
gonna save the episode and play it back 25 years. He was like, you said.
when you was with your homegirls. Nah, like because I don't want to say no because I don't know, and we're still young and whatever. But
I'm shutting it down.
single me, hell yeah. Let's have some fun.
I'm shutting it down because,
Because why?
like, I feel like if you want a threesome, it's because, like, you just need some more excitement or, like, you're, I guess, bored or whatever. Like what is the reason?
What is the reason?
Like, I'm saying, like if you're in a relationship, what is the reason that you want one? Like, you need me to go switch my hairstyle? You need me to do something like
titties.
switch up the vibe? Like, you need me to go get a different color lingerie? I don't know. But if we're in a relationship, like a serious, like long-term committed relationship, I just feel like that kind of opens the door for like problems because it's just kind of like, because it's like, say I okay to this one time and then
Now
now
everybody and their mom.
now I come home and you with shorty in the bed and you like, well, I didn't think it was gonna be a problem because we did X, Y, and Z. Like, and I know with threesomes there are guidelines or some people have like they set expectations and those boundaries. But I feel like if you got to do all that, set all those boundaries and expectations, like, okay, we got to pick the girl together. I can't kiss her. I can't grab her by the neck. All this stuff. Like, that's too exhausting for me. I don't want to have to go through all those regulations and stipulations when it comes to, like, my partner. Unless, like if we're in a monogamous relationship, y'all, you know what monogamy means and you knew what it was before you signed up. Yeah. So, like, if you wanted to get all that out your system, should have did that before. Now, single me, open.
Okay.
Ish. there was almost a time, but yeah.
Off camera.
My homegirl that's listening to this, you know who you are.
I'm so dead. Hey, girl.
LOL, like
Oh,
LOL. But yeah, I just feel like if you're in a relationship, that kind of just opens the door for like a sticky. Yeah, it does. And I would like to keep Pandora's box closed, please.
Absolutely. I'm single right now, so I can say that yes, I would. Because like I said, something I want to do for that. Just one thing I want to try out, one time. But it's crazy because when I was younger, I used to think that I would want to be the person to pick the third girl. So I always thought like, oh, me and my partner, but then I would want to pick someone. Mm-hmm. But now that I'm older, like I want to be the third girl. Like I would just want to come, do what I got to do and dip. So that I don't got to deal with the repercussions of my actions. Come do what I gotta do and leave. So I definitely
peace out.
Yeah, I definitely, and like even in the early stages of a relationship, I feel like I would be okay, but I feel like I would definitely get to a point where I'm like, okay, this is off the table, or maybe further down the line if I get bored. But I'm not bored right now. Yeah. So.
I don't know. I kind of disagree about like wanting to do in the early stage, like in a relationship. Mm-hmm. Okay, for me, for sure, single, yes. Why not? In a relationship. Me personally, I don't think I would be open to it like early on in the relationship. I feel like that would be the period that I'm like, what? I feel like it would be more so like later on down the line that I would be open to it. But
I think like you wouldn't be open to it early because it's still like the relationship is still like fresh.
Yeah,
it's still building that foundation.
Like dating phases. Like y'all have
dating.
So like dating exclusively. Okay.
But y'all in an official relationship, like that time period.
That makes sense. I mean, I could see it, but like me, what did Gabby say? Like I feel like I don't know. People are just so different, especially sexually, that as long as you have like an understanding with your partner. Maybe they not necessarily are bored with you, or maybe they just are really like sexually explorative, and they just want to have different sexual experiences, but still want to be in a relationship with you.
So you want like a polygamous relationship?
No, it's not polygamy though, because
you want to be with more than one person.
No, that's not
like.
I think she's just talking about just sexual,
like literally just sexual, like
so like an open relationship.
No.
This is a threesome.
One-time thing.
So like a one-time.
Yeah.
Or I mean one time. Well, I guess if it becomes more than one time, then it kind of divvies into that. But I mean, if both parties are wanting to do that, then shit, maybe they want to do that, but not necessarily have like a three-way relationship or like a polyamorous relationship. They just like having a third party in the bedroom.
Yeah. It's like
I feel like everyone's different.
It's like you say they come in like just this one time, like just a one-time sexual experience that they want to do.
I don't think it's ever.
But I don't think
I'd be like, okay, if you want to do it with her, then who's the guy I can pick for the next time? And if you say no, then my damn answer. Shit.
I disagree. But I don't know. I also like. In a threesome, there would have to be a lot of guidelines in a relationship for sure. Like,
so what's off the table? If you're having a threesome, you
kiss. I just don't want to see the kissing. That would bother me. Like weirdly enough.
Honestly, you just don't have to sit and watch.
But see me,
because I just can't.
In my mind, I'm seeing like if he got his thing in her thing. If she's doing something to you while she's getting this, and that could be like a thing. I don't know, y'all, but it could be fun. I wouldn't knock it.
Yeah.
Single is gonna be a lot of fun.
But do y'all feel like polygamy is it's like a bigger topic nowadays? Like you know more people are
for sure.
Polygamy
for sure.
In today's day.
I don't know the difference between polygamy and polyamory.
I forgot.
I thought it was just
not the same. It's just like
different terms.
It is different.
Yeah, it is different.
When I took like African American male and female relations, that became like a topic of discussion. I want to say like it is different. I think one is more like relational base.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like you're with multiple people, but the other people are not necessarily like, I don't know how to
as
fully,
important.
No, not necessarily as important, because we actually had this girl in class who was in a polygamous relationship, and I've never met anybody like who was, because like that's just not something like I don't commonly come across that. And listening to her perspective was actually very interesting. So basically she was saying like it's her and she had 3 other like male partners. So she was in a relationship with the 3 of them, but the 3 of them were not in a relationship with each other. So it's like I'm in a relationship. Yeah. So it's like So it's like I have a relationship with Kelsey. I have a relationship with Sage. I have a relationship with Queso, but Queso and like y'all are not in a relationship with each other. And so she was explaining basically like the reason for that, or like the reason why she enjoys polygamous relationship is one, she had different partners for different things, because she said she felt like requiring or like expecting one person to fulfill all of your like needs and wants and desires is unrealistic. So she was like, how can you put that much pressure on like one person? So she basically said like, yeah, I'm with Sage because Sage is great company. We have similar interests, but I'm not sexually interested in Sage, but I'm interested in being in a sexual relationship with Queso because, I'm sorry, I'm not saying like you wouldn't be good, but like because
that's fine.
because Sage didn't fulfill, my sexual needs. So now I'm with Queso for that. And somebody asked like, so your partners wouldn't like feel away? And she was like, it's very open and like clear communication. Like they all knew about each other and knew like, I guess you could say the role that they served or whatever however you want to call it. Yeah. But it's still clear communication as to like the part that they play. So it was interesting.
Yeah. So could they date outside of her?
I got some definitions.
They could.
Okay.
They could, as long as they communicated that, because you're still in a relationship with somebody, but you're just not, you don't only have to be with that person. It just goes based on.
It sounds like a big ass open relationship.
It's like kind of, but I don't know. It was interesting. You had to be there.
Yeah. Okay, so real quick, polyamory is the act of having intimate relationships with more than one person at the same time. Polygamy involves being married to multiple people, and then there's also polygyny, which means that for real, polygyny refers to a man who has multiple wives, and polyandry refers to a woman who has multiple husbands.
Okay, gotcha. But see, when going back to her point of like you can't expect one person to have all of your qualities, yes, but then that's when I think having your non-negotiables come into play. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like there's things that I can like I'll be okay without, and then there's some things where it's like, okay, no, I need my partner to have it. So yes, it's not realistic to expect one person to have all of the qualities, but that doesn't mean I'm going to go searching for it. Like, I don't need those qualities that bad.
And that's the thing. She was basically saying, like, why would you compromise, like you would, like what you want, like those things you made like a non-negotiable like list. So it's like, why would you be willing to compromise or negotiate like things that you want because you think it's like unrealistic? And then like we even talked about like back in the day, like old times and stuff like that, like ancient times and everything. The reason that there would be like men with like multiple wives or whatever the case would be to like continue the lineage of like, their families and to generate like wealth and all that stuff, like to continue all that. If we was going based off back in the day, like do I see, the ancient times, that point of view, like you're trying to keep the name and all that stuff, maybe I could see like where it would have worked, for old time's sake. But now I don't feel like people are trying to like, be in a relationship with multiple people or do whatever for that purpose. Like it's really just for like personal desire. So that's why it's like, I don't know if I could.
3 different personalities? I'm good.
Yeah.
I just figured you out. Now I'm trying to figure you out.
I just feel like it's a lot to keep up with. Like if it works for you, kudos to you for sure. Like I'm not knocking anybody's personal feelings and their preference and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, live your life how you want to live your life. Do whatever it is that you feel best. And if you have somebody or you have multiple people who agree and who are willing to exist in that same space as you, then go for it. But me personally, as for me in my household,
Absolutely not. And then I it's interesting that you brought up in ancient times too, because I don't know if the class you were talking about you took at Morehouse or Georgia State.
I took it at Georgia State.
Okay, I took the same class, and I remember being in that class, and a girl actually asked a very interesting question, and she was like, "Don't you think that just sounds a little like?" I know back in ancient times it was all misogynistic.
Yeah,
but it's just kind of like, yeah, I could see for back in that day, but I can't actually, because it's like if you can have multiple wives, why can't she have multiple husbands? You know what I mean?
I think there were like
So
certain civilizations that had women that had multiple husbands,
like
in Africa.
There are, but I guess like the only thing that I could think of would be like, since we like reproduce and stuff like that. I'm not saying that they're viewing us as like this is our role, but kinda, since it was like misogynistic.
Yeah.
It's like if I have multiple wives, I could have 9 women and they could all be pregnant at the same time. But if it's just one woman and it's like 9 guys or whatever, she can only be pregnant by one at one time. Yeah. So it's like, again, that double standard thing where it's like, okay, like that for me, like, okay, as a guy, it's like, okay, yeah, I'm trying to, build procreate, whatever. But for you, you're just a whore, unfortunately.
But it's crazy because it's like, this is not just for procreation. You enjoying this shit.
Yeah, for sure.
don't
unless you're Nick Cannon.
Nick Cannon is a shut up, Kelsey.
Or Akon. I heard Akon is very like off, like unhinged now too.
Yeah, he got that hair replacement surgery. It done fucked up his brain.
Then he just built like a city.
Like you was on such a good roll. Now you just look like a stupid.
You don't mess with the AAs. African Americans.
And yeah, that's a whole nother.
Diaspora wars. Ooh, diaspora wars are weird. Anyways.
Ciao.
Good combo.
I don't even.
But we actually have a question from a listener. This question is coming from Gabby's brother, Blake.
Hey,
Shout out to Blake, aka Empire Kicks. Shameless plug.
Period.
But Blake wants to know, do you guys think that sex holds more weight for women than men? Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. We're more emotional creatures.
Yeah.
And even though, like, I feel like women nowadays, like, are definitely a little more savage, and they too can hit it and quit it. But like you said, when it comes to like that soul tie thing, I think we think of more that aspect a little more than the men.
Yeah, for sure.
There's always gonna be exceptions, but
for sure, I think it's more just in a general sense we are more emotional than the opposite sex. But
and I feel like spiritually, like a lot of more people are starting to like recognize the importance of a womb. We have that as women, you know what I'm saying? So it's like we're a little more careful with the energy that we just decide to, enter that space. So
be careful.
I definitely think that sex
you
holds
have your
more
kids
weight.
with.
And even like in society's eyes, like if a woman has more than 10 body counts, she looked at as a hoe. But then a man can be out here, be a player, be a big baller. So
dirty,
slanging his pizza box everywhere.
Society
it definitely holds more weight in women. But do you guys have any points on that? Or you're pretty much saying like,
I think it's a general consensus.
Yeah,
like
sure.
we definitely are more emotional creatures for sure. So it does hold more weight.
I also think that women becoming more savage was a defense mechanism, like based off of a lot of men. Not saying that like it's all men's fault, but in a general historic sense, it was a defense mechanism because of just how we were treated. And how we were kind of forced to play this little damsel in distress, you can't do anything for yourself kind of role, or getting played by a bunch of guys. So now you just like, F it, I'm gonna do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So, but then that continued on the cycle to those kind of women hurting good guys, and now they fuck niggas, and now
you got your heart broken at 11, and now you can't never trust no girl again. Like,
boy, please,
like, bro.
Go get some therapy.
Go heal.
Go heal.
You ain't hit puberty yet.
You 27 years old talking about, I got my heart broke when I was in middle school. If you don't.
No, you didn't, bro. Yeah. She hurt your feelings, probably, but you didn't have your heart broke.
That's why I always try to tell them, I'm like, don't let these people turn you bitter, man. Especially that's not who you are as a person or to your core. Like, I'm pretty sure we can all scream niggas ain't shit, and they probably be screaming bitches ain't shit. But like, I really try, really try to like not let people have that much power over you to like turn you bitter.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because you could be blocking your blessing, your future wife, someone who gonna treat you right.
Yeah,
it's easier said than done though. Because when you get that like either multiple or that one person that really break you down,
man,
that wall, and you don't even realize sometimes that you put the wall up.
Yeah, no, that's
like,
true. This is true.
From personal experience. I remember my mom told me one time, she's like, "You're so mean to men." And I was like, "No, I'm not." And then I was like, "Yeah, I am. I'm kind of a jerk."
Yikes.
Because of how bad
self-realization
a certain person had hurt me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say his name. His name
Sorry
is Voldemort.
to you, man.
We do not speak of that man. He who must not be named. But yeah.
Good combo, guys.
Thanks,
we just letting you guys all up in our business this episode.
No,
I hope my mama don't watch this.
Oh, and she not gonna.
I might not promote this episode.
Y'all was like all in between our legs. That's what it was.
I'm not wrong though. I'm only 25. Okay.
My mama she follow us on TikTok, so.
My mama follows us on Instagram for sure.
Niggas think they hoes, but hoes we hoes too.
So to play that
game, but you know what you do.
Ugly.
But that's how we like to wrap it up. We gonna wrap it up. So how's literally and figuratively. So how's life, sis?
Like how's life or how's my sex life?
It can be either way. You can say like how's your sex life been lately, or just how are you overall?
How's my sex life, babe? You're doing an amazing job.
Okay.
It's great.
Yay.
It's great. So it's great. You sound like a hater.
Oh, no, baby.
You
She's like, let me get to it.
I was saying, don't do that.
How's life, sis?
Oh, that was all yours.
I
was gonna say,
life is good. It's alright. It's getting there. We taking small steps to a greater time in my life.
Temporary sacrifice for long-term fulfillment.
For sure.
Ooh, say that again.
It's in the wise words of Gabrielle Fisher. It's in my book, Evolution of the Butterfly. Can be found on Amazon.
Let's say it again then.
That was a beautiful pitch. That was beautiful.
You like that? Temporary sacrifice for long-term fulfillment.
Put it on a t-shirt.
Put it on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
I might.
Put that shit on the head.
I might. In the meantime, though, go buy that book. But yeah, life is like box of chocolate. No, life is really okay. At first, it was good. Like everything's been good. When my life right now, it's mainly school. School, and then like I have like y'all family relationship, all that. But my main the biggest iceberg in my life right now is school. And so the iceberg has been slowly melting and melting and melting and melting. But now
the Titanic is free.
I feel like I should be able to be excited because I have 6 more weeks left until I will have my master's degree.
This is not the heaviest part.
But that's what I'm saying. It's
whole degree.
It's very very trying times. As the closer you get to the end, I feel like that's when you get tried the most.
Absolutely.
And they say God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers, but sometimes I'm like, bro, I did not sign up to be a strong soldier. I was in a draft. I was in a draft pick last time.
But that's how you know that he has so much more for you that you could never even.
MPH.
And that's why I try, not to think too deep into it and let things get to me. Today, was definitely a day, and I had a low moment. I had a low point for sure and stuff like that. But my dad always says this quote. He says, "The race is not for the swift; it's for the one that endures." And
What's going on with the fishes? With these words?
We got these quotes, child.
We should do a family poetry book.
We really should. Ooh. But it's really just basically slow and steady wins the race. Basically like that. So that's what I've been trying to keep in mind. So life has been interesting, a little murky here and there, a little tough. And then sex life, great. Yeah. So, but I feel so weird saying that because
my parents gonna hear this. Ah. You should have thought about that before you was over here talking about who get busting button.
No, fact.
I'm 20.
I mean, it's not like they don't know, but it's just like I'm never gonna openly say to them like, "Yeah, I'm busting open."
Yeah, I can't say that in their face.
Yeah,
I
I could say it and then laugh and like run away like a child. Like,
Not I be
but-
busting it open, but like me and my mom have had talks about sex. My dad, I think, never.
Yeah,
Never.
I don't.
I think my dad thought I was a virgin a long time after I wasn't.
Yeah, well, if you don't know, now
At
you
that point, I
know.
was like, at that point, he wouldn't know until I was pregnant and married.
Yeah, that too.
Hey,
But
by the way.
how's life, Sister Case, though?
My sex life is non-existent. Singleton.
That's okay.
But I've actually really been enjoying my single life and really just been kind of basking in this period. And I've just been having like a clear headspace, clear mental space. I've been kind of clearing my roster too, so that's been nice because I
Get ready
just feel
for the
all of my
summer.
Spring
time-
cleaning.
Like, no facts.
No, literally.
Yeah, that too, but also just for me,
That was a good
also just for me mentally, just because like I feel like I've always had somebody that I'm always talking to someone. Like even though I've been single for a minute, like I've always been.
Always keep that thing.
I've always been in a situation. I've always been
Stay
talking
strapped.
to someone, dating someone, and I just want to like have that time to just not talk to anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I've had that, so that's been nice. But other than that, life is good, man. Can't complain. Like I said, I'm just enjoying my single life, so I'm enjoying this period.
Good.
I
It
am.
reminds me of Kourtney Kardashian. She was like, I'm just living life.
My vibe right now,
It's
just living life.
for real. Seriously.
You.
Anybody
Oh
gonna ask
my-
me?
No.
Oh,
Girl,
my
how was your life?
Your life, damn.
Drama.
Life is cool. I mean, it's real cool. Like, things have definitely, taken a somewhat upward turn since the last episode. Because, that was an interesting time.
It's okay.
You
Love
know,
it. Love to see it.
life be lifing for sure. Life is weird. But
Wink.
but no, I'm doing better. Definitely trying to, take my own advice that I gave about choosing to embark on a journey of happiness, and making that intentional choice. So, I'm still kind of working through it, trying to figure things out. Sex life is pretty decent right now. It's okay.
Are you still single-ish?
I was about to ask.
It's still ish. It's still very much ish, but I don't know. I ain't gonna say too much on that. But it's still ish. It's it's heavy on the ish, okay?
Yeah.
But
Talking about some decent.
no, it's good. Shout out to you. But anyways,
Now you got a shout out.
okay. Anyway,
On this next episode.
English shout out.
Yes, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys have any questions or you want to continue the conversation, you can email us at lifeisweirdpod1@gmail. We'll put it right here. So chime in on the conversation. Because we love interacting with you guys. We love getting to hear your comments. And
Yeah,
the support has
tell us
been
something.
crazy so
Amazing.
far. So
Thank you
thank you
guys.
guys so much. And we love you guys and see you in about a couple weeks with the next conversation.
and close your legs to marry men,
And get tested on a
And
regular.
wrap it up.
and drop a comment.
Like, subscribe, share,
Leave some reviews on the
Retweet.
podcast.
repost, put it on your story.
Give us 5 stars.
All of that.
Bye. Bye. God.